Let me ask you a question. Have you ever found yourself wondering, what is it that men truly want in a woman they see a future with? Not just someone to text late at night or go on dates with. I'm talking about a dream woman. The kind of woman he brags about to his friends, the one he won't risk losing. And here's the truth, it's probably not what you think. It's not about looking a certain way, having the perfect body, or always saying the right thing. That's surface level. And sure, it might catch attention, but it doesn't keep it. If you want to be unforgettable, the woman he feels lucky to have, then you need to understand what a man truly desires at his core. And not just any man, the kind of man who's emotionally mature, ready for something real and capable of giving love. So today, we're diving into the 4 things men deeply crave from their dream woman. And trust me, if you give him these 4 things, he won't just stay, he'll never stop choosing you. But before we get to those 4, I want to give you 6 key principles that hold this whole idea together. Because without these, even the 4 qualities won't land right. When we talk about what men want, it's easy to assume the answer begins and ends with physical attraction. And while chemistry is undeniably a part of any romantic spark, it's far from the full picture. A relationship built solely on attraction is like a house built on sand. It might stand for a moment, but it won't last the test of time. What the right man, the one who's emotionally evolved and ready for a meaningful connection, truly seeks is a deep emotional bond that brings real fulfillment. Emotional partnership means being with someone who gets you, a woman who doesn't just hear his words, but listens between the lines. Someone who notices when his silence means he's stressed. Someone who knows that when he pushes people away, it's not rejection, it's protection. These are the moments where a real bond forms, not from perfection, but from understanding. And to a man who wants something real, that level of connection is magnetic. In a world where many people are rushing toward the next big high, the next date, the next hookup, the nextional partnership slows things down. It asks, can I be myself with this person? Can I talk about my fears, my failures, my doubts? And when the answer is yes, the relationship stops being just fun and starts being sacred. That's when a man realizes I could build something lasting here. It's also important to understand that men don't always come with the same language of emotion. Many were taught to suppress feelings, to power through, to be stoic. So when a woman creates space for emotional safety, when she shows that she won't punish his vulnerability or misuse it later, that's when a man begins to open up in ways he might not have before. He begins to share more than just facts. He shares himself. And this isn't about being his therapist or his emotional fixer. A dream woman doesn't carry his emotional weight for him. She walks beside him and says, you don't have to carry it alone. That distinction is everything. She becomes his partner in navigating the hard stuff, not someone who erases it for him. And that creates a powerful bond, one built on shared growth, not dependence. The irony is, many women underestimate how deeply men crave this kind of partnership because men aren't always vocal about it. It can seem like they don't want it. But the moment a man feels it, the ease, the safety, the joy of being emotionally known, he won't want to go back to shallow connections. He begins to seek it, to protect it, to value the woman who brings it out in him. So yes, physical attraction may spark the interest, but emotional partnership, that rich soul-level connection, is what sustains love over time. For the right man, it's not a bonus, it's the foundation. And when he finds it, he doesn't just fall for her. He chooses her again and again. There's a common misconception that love is something you go out and find, as if it's a product waiting on a shelf or a treasure you need to dig up. But in truth, love is often something you attract through who you are. Men, especially those looking for something meaningful, are highly responsive to energy. They may not always be able to articulate it, but they feel it. Your presence, your posture, your voice, your lifestyle, they all communicate silently before you ever speak a word. The most magnetic women are not the ones trying to be liked by everyone. They're the ones who walk into a room with the quiet confidence of someone who likes themselves. They know what they bring to the table. They're not chasing, they're choosing. That energy is powerful. It's not arrogant, it's grounded. And that kind of woman draws high-quality men, not by proving her worth, but by living it unapologetically. When you reflect confidence, self-respect, and joy in your own life, you subconsciously filter out men who are only looking for surface-level interaction. Why? Because those men won't know how to approach someone who isn't playing the usual validation games. You're not desperately seeking attention, you're seeking alignment. And that distinction makes all the difference. It also means that if you want to attract a man who values emotional growth, loyalty, and respect, those values need to already exist in your world. Your habits, friendships, goals, they should reflect the life you want to build, not just the one you're escaping from. Because emotionally healthy men aren't looking to complete someone. They're looking to join someone, to merge lives, to cope, great. And they can only do that with someone who is already rooted in herself. It's worth asking, what does my energy tell people about what I will accept? Because men often rise or fall to the level of your standards. The way you carry yourself sets the tone. A woman who communicates through her actions that she's not available for games, who guards her peace, and who values her time, that woman doesn't have to say she's high value, she just is. And men notice. Of course, this isn't about pretending to be someone you're not. In fact, the most attractive energy is authentic. It's the comfort of someone who's done the inner work, who knows her flaws and still walks with her head high. The woman who isn't performing for male approval, but is simply living in alignment with her truth. She's captivating because she's rare and because she doesn't need anyone. The right man will want to offer her everything. So the next time you wonder why a certain kind of man keeps showing up in your life, ask yourself, what am I reflecting right now? You don't get what you deserve. You get what you tolerate, what you expect, and most of all, what you reflect. Become the kind of person your ideal partner would naturally be drawn to, and you'll find you're no longer searching. You're simply attracting. There's this silent pressure many people feel, especially women, to be flawless when they're dating, to say the right thing, wear the right outfit, have the right reaction, and always come across as composed, chill, fun, and desirable. It's exhausting, and more importantly, it's not sustainable. Because deep down, we all know no one is perfect, and trying to be is the quickest way to lose connection with who you really are. The right man, the man looking for a partner and not just a performance, doesn't want someone who seems perfect. He wants someone real, a woman who owns her quirks, her beliefs, her opinions, who can laugh at herself when she's awkward, admit when she's unsure, and who brings herself to the table, not a carefully edited version. Why? Because that's what allows him to do the same. It gets permission. It creates space. It breaks down walls. Many women worry that being too much or not enough will scare men away. But the truth is, the wrong men will always be scared away by your wholeness because they were never ready to meet you where you really are. The right man, he's not looking for flawless. He's looking for truth, for consistency, for someone who can hold eye contact and say, this is who I am, take it or leave it. That's powerful. That's sexy. That's rare. Think about it. Perfection might impress someone at first, but it's not what makes someone stay. People fall in love with the raw moments, the weird jokes, the passionate rants, the unfiltered laughter, the real tears, the late night talks that aren't about impressing, but about being. If someone never sees the real you, how could they ever truly fall in love with you? And if you're always performing, you'll always be afraid of messing up, afraid of being too emotional, afraid of losing their interest. But when you show up as yourself, flaws and all, you're no longer walking on eggshells. You're walking on solid ground. You can breathe. You can connect. You can say, this is me, and trust that the right person will say, that's exactly what I've been looking for. Authenticity also builds trust. When a man sees that you're not faking who you are, he's more likely to open up himself. It creates a space where both people can relax into the relationship instead of performing roles. And that's when real intimacy begins, not just physical, but emotional, intellectual, even spiritual. You become more than a romantic option. You become a safe space. In a world obsessed with filters, highlight reels, and curated personas, authenticity stands out like a beam of light. It's memorable, it's grounding, and it makes a man think, and if I can be fully myself with her, and she's fully herself with me, maybe this isn't just another fling. Maybe this is something real. That thought, that's where love begins. One of the most misunderstood truths about emotionally available men is this: they want to make you happy. They want to feel like they add something meaningful to your life.
No.
Not because they need to rescue you, fix you, or complete you, because it gives them a sense of purpose in the relationship. When a man cares about you deeply, your happiness becomes a part of his happiness. It fuels his desire to show up, to give, to invest. But, and this is important, he doesn't want to be responsible for all of your emotional well-being. The dream woman isn't walking around in pain, waiting for someone to rescue her from her sadness, her loneliness, or her past. She's already done the work. She's healing. She's growing. She's not perfect. No one is. But she's not looking for a man to solve her. Instead, she invites him to join her. And that's an empowering difference. Men respect women who bring joy into their lives without making the man the sole source of it. What makes a woman magnetic isn't just her smile. It's what's behind the smile. A deep sense of self, a life she's excited about, hobbies, friendships, passions, goals. When a man sees that you're fulfilled with or without him, he feels safe. He doesn't feel like he's being trapped into a role he can't maintain. Instead, he feels like he gets to contribute to your joy, not carry it. That space creates emotional freedom and healthy attraction. At the same time, a strong man wants to be needed, but in a way that's healthy. He wants to feel like his love has impact. That when he supports you, it lifts you higher. That when he surprises you, it lights you up. That when he listens, it actually matters. But he doesn't want to be the answer to your emptiness. He wants to be the addition to your fullness. When a woman expects a man to constantly fix her mood, solve her internal struggles, or validate her worth, she unknowingly puts him in an impossible position. No matter how much he gives, it will never feel like enough. Eventually, it leads to burnout, because that's not love, that's emotional labor. The dream woman gives him a chance to be a partner, not a savior. Think of it this way: imagine your happiness is like a flame. The right man wants to be the wind that makes it burn brighter, not the spark that keeps trying to relight it every time it goes out. When you are already glowing from within, he feels excited to contribute to your life. He doesn't feel the pressure of keeping you happy. Instead, he feels the joy of sharing happiness with you. That's when real mutual love begins to grow. So yes, the right man wants to make you smile. He wants to feel like he brings something special into your world. But he also wants to know that if he steps back, your world doesn't fall apart, that you're okay, that you've got you. Because when a woman is emotionally stable, joyful, and grounded in herself, it doesn't push a good man away, it draws him closer. He doesn't love you because you need him. He loves you because you choose him freely from a place of strength. There's a version of every man that the world sees, the polished, composed, capable version, the man who handles responsibilities, navigates pressure, and tries to stay strong no matter what. But underneath that version is someone more raw, more real, someone with fears, insecurities, unspoken dreams, and wounds he doesn't always know how to express. And what most men crave, far more than they let on, is a place where they don't have to wear the mask, a place where they can just be. That place for the right man is a woman who allows him to feel safe in his vulnerability. Being a dream woman doesn't mean being a therapist or an emotional sponge. It means being a space of emotional permission, a space where a man can say, "I'm scared," or "I don't know what I'm doing," or even "I'm not okay," without being judged, mocked, or made to feel weak. In a world that tells men to man up, having a woman who encourages emotional honesty instead of emotional performance is deeply attractive. It's rare, it's unforgettable. Men are often starving for a kind of connection that lets them lower their armor. They don't want to constantly perform strength. They want to be accepted in their entirety. That includes their soft spots, their confusion, their moments of doubt. And when a woman embraces a man in those moments, not with pity, but with warmth and respect, she becomes more than a partner. She becomes his emotional home, a place where he can return and recharge, not just physically, but spiritually. When a man feels safe enough to show up fully as himself, his love deepens. He doesn't just connect with you on the surface. He commits, he invests, because he realizes this isn't just someone he loves being around. This is someone he can build a life with. He sees a future, not just a moment. That depth of connection rooted in emotional safety creates the kind of bond that can't be replicated with just attraction or shared hobbies alone. The dream woman allows space for lightness and play too. She doesn't make everything a deep conversation. Sometimes she's just goofy. She lets him be silly. She jokes, she's weird. She doesn't always take things so seriously. That balance, the space to be emotionally deep and joyfully light, gives a man the full spectrum of expression. And that's where freedom exists, because in freedom, it thrives. It's also worth noting when a woman allows a man to be fully himself. It doesn't mean she accepts bad behavior or lacks standards. Quite the opposite. Her strength and softness coexist. She holds space, but she also speaks truth. She's nurturing and grounded. That dynamic keeps the relationship real and mature, because love isn't just about comfort, it's about growth. And no man grows faster than when he's with someone who believes in him while challenging him to be better. At the end of the day, the dream woman isn't a fantasy. She's not an Instagram version of perfection. She's someone who's emotionally intelligent, deeply human, and rooted in who she is. And because she allows herself to be seen with all her depth, joy, and vulnerability, she creates space for a man to do the same. That's not just attractive, that's irresistible. So if you've ever felt confused by mixed signals, if you've ever asked yourself, what do men really want? Remember this, it's not about being the most beautiful woman in the room. It's not about being perfect, agreeable, or endlessly available. It's about being real. It's about being rooted in your self-worth, firm in your values, and open in your heart. Because the right man, the man who's emotionally available, secure, and serious about building something real, he's not looking for a fantasy, he's looking for a partner, someone who sees him respects herself, and invites him into a connection built on depth, not performance. And when you step into that version of yourself, when you embody those four things, you won't have to chase love. You'll be the kind of woman love finds and never wants to lose.